Well, it's another beautiful morning. I got our doggies out here with me. Sun's coming up. I got my spring locators in, so I can hopefully start putting this thing together. As you can see, they slip right over the bronze guides. Turn that on, yep. So they slip right over these bronze guides real good, and springs work on them. So that's what we need. We got lucky because these were out of stock on BTR's website. But this company here had them in stock, so shipped them right out, and we're good to go. So I got to get all these springs put in here. I got my push rod length checker, so I can check and see what length push rod this deal needs. Driving about an hour away to go get some parts for the old Fairmont. She's driving pretty good. Love this car. Alright, just left Harbor Freight Tools. Got us a digital caliper after went and picked up the steering rack, so I'll be able to measure the push rods when I get back. If anybody watches Boosted Boys, you already know what the deal is. I get half and half Baja Blast and Mountain Dew though. If you haven't tried it, try it. It's pretty good. Here's the steering rack picked up. It's a manual. He said it was a Flamin' River rack. Got the bolts and everything. It's got some Maximum Motorsports bump steer kit and everything. It came off a SN95, which is like 3/4 inch longer than the Fox bodies, so I'm hoping it fits. It looks like it's got plenty of threads where it can screw in. I don't know how much threads are in here, but I believe it'll screw in. I don't know about this taper on this thing, if it's the same as the Fox knuckles and everything, but we'll find out. But that's going to be a huge improvement over the rack that's on it, because it's just a looped power steering rack, and it's got a lot of slop in it, and it's absolutely terrible. So yesterday when I came back from Harbor Freight, I measured some push rods, or measured the push rod length that I needed with the push rod length checker that I have right here. There's really good videos on YouTube of how to do this, so I didn't really explain it because that's just something you can find on your own if you really need to do that. But anyways, I took a measurement, and at basically zero lash, the push rod was at about 7.3 inches. And then if you look, you can find people say anywhere from 50 thousandths to 150 thousandths preload on lifters. Now these are bone stock lifters that I have in this LS2. So I went ahead and just put the factory length push rods that I have in it. They're hardened push rods, but they're 7.4 push rods, so that gives me 100 thousandths preload. So hopefully that's enough to keep it from clattering. I'll crank it up and see how it sounds, and hopefully it'll be relatively quiet. But I did want to explain that because I didn't show it. I was going to, then I was like, I didn't want to bore y'all with that. So, but if you do want me to show you how to do it, I can. But there's plenty of videos, like I said. So I've got the engine pushed out here, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do because it's pretty freaking cold today. It's like 42 out here. Times I wish I had a garage, but I have stuck it out here last night to give me some more room back in there. But it's all put together, ready to go basically. Got all the push rods in, got the springs changed out and everything. So, like I said, it's ready to drop in the car here. Well, I got the engine set kind of in the car. I don't have the mounts hooked up yet, but The transmission, the input shaft is in the clutch, so that's the hard part. I'm gonna put the bolts in the transmission and then put the motor mounts to the frame, to the subframe, and engine will be back in the car. Well, I got the engine back in and a lot of stuff buttoned up, other than like the turbo stuff and the cooling system. I still got a few more connections to make, put the starter back on, stuff like that, but it's starting to rain a little bit. I don't know if you can see the drops, so probably gonna have to call it a day for today and put my cherry picker back in and my tools up and everything. And then I still got some stuff I can do. I gotta drill my turbine housing for the back pressure sensor and stuff like that, so I'll go ahead and do that stuff. Turbo cleaned up a little bit. I painted the wire wheeled and painted the exhaust housing because it was looking pretty rough, rusty wise, and polished out this outer edge and cleaned up the housing a little bit, got some grease off of it, so that looks a lot better. And here's the parts that are left to go on the car. Once it warms up, you can see there's frost on everything. It's very cold. We drove to Fairmont to dinner last night. It's got a little whine in the seems like it's in the transmission, like the pump's whining or something, so I got to take a look at that. It drives fine. It seems like the clutches are holding, like it's still got good pressure and everything, but it's just, I don't know, it just makes a lot of noise around 2,000 RPM. But we'll wait for it to warm up a little bit and get started on this turd right here. I got the car all back together. Doesn't have any fluids in it yet. I got to put the plugs in it also. I got to gap those, put the plugs in, fill it up with oil, and fill it up with coolant. And I should be able to see if this thing will start. Well, boys, she runs. Had a couple coolant leaks. It was leaking out of where the water pump seal is, so I put new gaskets on it and put it back together. It seems to be fine. This heater hose was leaking too, but it seems to have sealed itself up because it ain't leaking anymore. Figured I'd take it down the road real quick. See how it does. No hood life. Seems to be doing alright. It's not overheating or anything yet. Oil pressure's good. 47 pounds riding down the road. Seems good. go. Got the car back home. Had a successful test drive. Nothing's leaking yet, knock on wood, but seems to be running good. When I first cranked it up, it was breathing quite a bit out of the breather, but I think as the rings seal, it'll get better, which it has. So, but anyways, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll keep you updated as I do more to the car and do a little work to that thing and stuff like that. So we'll see you next time.